Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which I'm going to use a lot this semester. So you're going to see a technique called rationalizing the numerator. And this is designed for one purpose, because too many times you have to plug zero into this expression. And right now, the way it's currently written, plugging in zero would give you a zero in the denominator, which is not a good situation. But you can rewrite this expression to where you can plug in zero. So you're going to have to be familiar with a couple of, one big terminology you're going to have to be familiar with is what they call a conjugate. Another bit of algebra you should be familiar with is what they call the A minus B, A plus B. And make sure you understand that when you multiply those together, you end up squaring the first and the last. And then you also have to deal with the inner and the outer. And what's going to happen there is that you're going to be left with what they call the difference of squares. But you're going to notice that you really need to understand the skill on this particular problem. So what I'm going to do is, after you've taken a brief little glance at the right side, I'm going to erase that. If you got questions, just come see me in class, since the only people that are watching these videos are other students taking my class. So you have to create a conjugate expression, and I'm going to write that in red. The conjugate expression would consist of x plus 4 plus 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create that expression on the right. Now, the reason why I create a product and the reason why that product remains the same is because the expression on the right, the thing I just circled, actually has a value of 1. So it doesn't change the original value, but it creates a different form, which is much more workable. So trying to erase that. So the next step is going to be you square the x plus 4, or you square the radical. I'm just going to write this on the side. And then you square the 2. And once again, because they're conjugates, because they're a plus b, a minus b, you don't worry about middle terms. The result of what I did on the right is going to be the square of a radical would just be x plus 4. The square of 2 would be 4. And then it's a subtraction because, or it's negative 4. I shouldn't overthink or over-explain too much. Now the denominator looks complicated, but what it is, we're just applying the multiplication of fractions. Now, what you should notice is the 4s are going to cancel out. They add up to 0. You're going to be left with x over x times the parenthetical expression. Now the x over x becomes 1. And you might want to note that it really becomes 1. You don't just cross it out. Now you also need to realize that I crossed it out because it wasn't factored. So that's going to leave me with a result of 1 over the square root of x plus 4 added to 2. Now I can plug any number that I want as long as it's in the domain of the square root expression, including x equals 0, and I can get a value because it's in a different form. But this expression is equal to the original expression. And make sure you watch for plenty more videos. Have a great one.